Welcome back to Bets and Regrets. I am your pseudo host Brogan, joined by.
I'm Sean.
And Nick.
And if this is your first time listening, Bets and Regrets is a weekly sports betting show breaking down sharp picks, bold parlays, and the best bad beats we wish we could forget. Here's what we got this episode: regrets from the last week, NFL Week 15 spread picks, best value dogs, and our locks for this week. Boys, I got my ass kicked in Week 14. Just like I got my ass kicked reading that AI prompt. Uh, I'm
I
just gonna
knew it.
dive into it because I got four shots coming my way. I went 2-4. George Pickens let me down with the anytime tud. However, that was a hedge against my fantasy team I was playing against, and I ended up getting the one seed in the bye, so it was worth it. Ohio State, Texas Tech money line. Texas Tech got it done. Ohio State, that kicker can kick and hit the uprights from the side in warm-ups. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but he can't make the 30-yarder or whatever to tie the game at the end. So yeah, Ohio State let me down there. I guess Indiana is for real, and we'll see what happens in the college football playoffs. In F1, McLaren did not win qualifying. Max Verstappen from Red Bull did, so that fucking sucked. And the Colts let me down too. I didn't expect Daniel Jones to blow out his Achilles when he already had a broken leg, but that's what happened, and the Jags were jagging off all over the Colts. However, I did hit two bets. Jonathan Taylor and Gibbs anytime touchdowns. That was a nice little parlay. And then the other bet I hit was Georgia money line. Go Dogs. So this week for my four shots, I'm going back to Old Faithful. Got a little bit of Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. I'm kind of running low, so I need to start hitting some winners again. Sean, you've got a lot of shots too, so do you want to go next?
Yeah, yeah. So I can only hope that you've been fading me these last 6 weeks because otherwise it's been brutal. Thankfully, didn't have much financial investment this week. I did have a little bit of action on some offshore accounts, but neither here nor there. But again, like I say, if I say it enough, speak it into existence, I got a feeling my luck's going to start changing this week. The tides are going to be shifting in my favor. And started to do it a little bit last week by going 3-0 in my dog picks, and now we just got to transfer those over to our locks. So there's a sign. I'm not completely hopeless quite yet. The first one that did fail me though last week was Jahmyr Gibbs over 78 rushing yards. I didn't necessarily have it in any script when I was looking at this game that the Giants were going to win the game, run the ball with Montgomery and Gibbs under 20 combined times. I just thought that it was going to be a lot more volume, but the volume was never really there. So I think Gibbs over receiving and rushing could be a play going forward because he was lethal down the stretch as a pass catcher out of that backfield, which was pretty fun to see. Um, Next one we had was Baltimore, Seattle, Rams money line. Seattle and the Rams got there. I mean, that was the easiest shit you could have imagined. And then Baltimore, Lamar's got to be hurt or something, or just on the way back from an injury because he's just not looking like himself. The Ravens are looking dead in the water right now after dropping multiple divisional games in a row. Which I mean, in an AFC North race where every game is going to seemingly count at this point, where you can't even count out the Bengals who have only 4 wins on the season quite yet. Um, that's just brutal. They needed to have that one. I can't believe they dropped it. But yeah, that one didn't hit for me. And you want to talk about how poor of a generational run I'm on? I had a money line parlay in the UFC on Saturday night for some title contention fights here, where we had Alex Pantoja fighting. And for those of you that are not familiar with UFC, Alex Pantoja is the champion at the flyweight division, and he is one of the best, if not the best, UFC flyweight fighters of all time. He's been I forget how many times he's defended the belt, but it truly is incredible to see the submission. submission specialist. He can outlast you. He does have a little bit of KO power every once in a while, but he fought Joshua Van, and he didn't necessarily lose by any. It was a freak injury. He was going. Van blocked the kick, started to try and drive that leg forward down to the ground, and Pantoja stopped himself, tried to brace his arm, and ended up in the process dislocating his shoulder. I don't know, Brogan, if you would have seen any of that video clip, but initially I thought it was a Jaden Daniels style, like dislocate his elbow or something, which I was like, oh, fuck, that's terrible. But yeah, so dislocated shoulder, and that also ends a streak of, he's 30-6 in the UFC. He has, out of those 35 previous fights, never been finished, submitted, TKO'd, anything like that. So, first time for everything, and it just happens to be when I put him in a parlay. Fortunately, the other leg of the parlay did not hit either, and that was Merab Devashili going against Peter Yan in the bantamweight championship fight, and Yan just looked really good. Could have went possibly Merab's way if he would have picked up one more round. I don't know, but it was a unanimous decision. So that one, I mean, good for Jan, I guess, for getting it done. But yeah, so that was unfortunate that not only one but both of them got beat. And then the last losing leg of anything was the parlay of the week, which I will have not one but an additional drink for or shot for fucking that up. Virginia minus 2.5. Couldn't get it done in the ACC championship. Lost to the Duke Blue Devils. Jesus Christ, not even drinking yet. In overtime, and lost 27-20. I mean, anytime you lose a game in overtime, especially when you get a short number on that, that's just unfortunate. But we did have some bright spots, even though few and far between. The Kai Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals, like I said last week and a few weeks earlier. It is in autoplay and will be going forward until proven otherwise. It was a sweat. You got that. We had that first one right away, I think in the first quarter of that Chiefs Texans game, and then didn't come back or didn't come down to it until about mid to late in the fourth quarter. So nonetheless, got it done. And then the other one was Kobe Brissett over 7.5 passing attempts. So feeling that they played the Seahawks. Cardinals played the Seahawks in Seattle. Figured it was going to be, no, they did play the Rams. And they got absolutely worked. They got beat 45-17 in a game where he threw for 44 times. And it was good to see a couple go through the net, but goddamn, this is when we finally get a 4-2, 5-1, 6-0 day. It will be glorious. So, till that time though, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 shots. Bottoms up. I'm back on my Old Smoky Tennessee moonshine. So, let's get it.
Last week, so I've kind of turned it around from going back. So I don't know. My bets are just fucking weird as shit, dude. I went back to back 0-6, and now I've gone back to back 5-1. Obviously, not perfect, but that's pretty fucking good. Berg and I both did the Pickens anytime Tud, and it did not look like Pickens wanted to be there. Like, it kind of looked like mentally he kind of gave up halfway through the game. Because, like, CD Lamb...
a little bit.
Huh?
Yeah, I said it looked like he was pouting. The broadcasters were saying, like, oh, these guys love competing. They love it when the other guy starts eating and getting yards and everything. Meanwhile, it's CD Lamb getting over 100 yards, and they pan to Pickens, and he just looks fucking pissed on the sideline.
Yeah, and there seemed like a couple of plays where like he just gave up on, where he's like, whatever, because he's not getting the ball. So like, there's the little bit of the diva coming out with Pickens. But I mean, he's been fucking fantastic this year, like in everything. He's a baller. I hope that they can get his fucking attitude right. or I don't know. I don't know how many teams are going to continuously like want to put up with an attitude like that, because usually teams are pretty short-tempered with that. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like teams don't want to put up with that. So if the Steelers are willing to let him go because of that, like, I mean, I get the Steelers are like a, a blue blood fucking org, you know, but still, I don't know of any other team besides the Browns and the Chiefs that would probably put up with that. Because the Chiefs like signing convicts. So next, and I guess the Cowboys do too. That's funny. All right, Detroit Dallas over banger. All right, banger. Knew that it was just gonna be a high scoring game. I thought the Pickens anytime touchdown with the Detroit Dallas over. I mean, it looked like Dak was Matthew Stafford back there and just fucking like Pat statting towards the end of the game when it was already out of reach. So he has to get those stats looking good so people can continue to say that Dak is a top 5 QB. Packers minus 6.5. That was closer than what it should have been. For the love of God, referees, please start calling holds on Micah Parsons. I did not realize how bad it was until you start looking for it, and then it's like every single ref just allows it to happen.
Yeah, the one where he could have been called for hands to the face or face mask too. I thought that was a little egregious.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm not somebody who's like banging the table for it because like I don't know. It feels like it's disproportionately not called on Micah versus other pass rushers. So I don't know what's happening there. It would be, I would like, has Micah gotten a hold called against him all season? It doesn't really feel like they've ever called a hold for Micah. But crying Caleb Williams is exactly who I thought he was. He's a bum. I'll briefly touch on that. He completed 3 passes by halftime, and only one of them was in front of the line of scrimmage.
It was bad.
Yeah. 1 pass completed beyond the line of scrimmage in a half. That's fucking putrid. Bears fans will still tell me that he's MVP and best QB in the North.
We really should have just had Brogan and I go do our shots and everything, and then just let you do about 10 minutes uninterrupted on the Bears-Packers game.
No, I'm not gonna.
We really dropped the ball on it.
I'm being short with them all. Jordan Love +2. I already talked about that. It's Toyota-thon, baby. And then New Orleans. That's just a large point total for like any. It was an in-division game last week, so it's like I don't know. That's just a really, really large point spread for anybody, especially with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since they were like starting to struggle a little bit on both sides of the ball. They started off so hot, and now they're definitely struggling a little bit. And I know injuries have caught up with them in basically every way. But good teams, good teams don't use injuries as an excuse, right? Every team gets injured. Every superstars go down all the time. But great teams find a way to plug and play somebody. That's where coaching really comes down to, is finding the people to come in as a backup too. To really keep the flow of the whole team going. And it just feels like Tampa Bay doesn't have that. I know I'm probably being hypercritical of Tampa Bay, but shit, dude, their coaching staff, with how much talent you have on that team and you're letting this year go, especially being in the NFC South, literally the weakest division in football, like, man, I don't know. If I was the owner of Tampa Bay or on their board or whatever the fuck they do, I'd be quite upset about this year. Like, everybody was performing well, and your coaching staff just has let you guys down, in my humble opinion. So, Saints covered. Let's go Tyler Shuck, my boy. Not better than Rattler, but, Shuck's pretty good for being an 80-year-old man. And then I doubled down on Love 2+ passing tuds because banger. It's Toyota-thon, baby. What do you expect? It's Toyota-thon. So, take one shot, vodka. You see, I didn't spend that much time on the Bears-Packers, all right?
Oh, no, I'm saying we should have let you.
Oh, we still can. I would love to get up on my fucking soapbox and shit talk
All right.
all of the
Well,
Bears
how about you take a
fans.
shot first, and then we'll reconsider.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess overall, yeah, Nick won last week, going 5-1. Sean and I both went 2-4. But overall for locks this year, I'm still positive at 44, 38, and 2. Sean's in second place at 39 and 45, and Nick's bringing up the rear at 36 and 45. But there's still 4 weeks
Getting
left.
tough out
So,
here. Getting real
right.
tough out here.
And for the people that don't remember, I did have 3 strikes like in week. What fucking week is that?
What?
Where I bet on
Sorry,
Bowers,
3
Bucky
strikes?
Irving, like sorry,
Oh,
like
yeah.
they didn't perform, so that's
Right,
why
Nick-
my score is a little
Nick
bit different
had
than
a
Sean.
week, right, where 3 of his locks didn't even play because of injuries.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why he's missing 3 locks compared to the rest of us. Good call. All right, so yeah, I guess we kind of covered our biggest regrets from the weekend. Just going back over the games, Thursday night delivered between Lions and Cowboys. That game was a shootout. Jahmyr Gibbs had 3 touchdowns, I think. And yeah, I guess that was a pretty fun Thursday night game. Sunday morning, or I guess not morning, but early games on Sunday, Bills-Bengals was a super fun one. It was a snow game, if you guys were watching that one. And Bengals were kind of in command of that game in the first half. And then, I mean, Josh Allen at home. Bills came back to win. However, they didn't cover because that line was 5.5, and they only won by 5. I'm not salty at all about that, but big on the Chiefs coming back to win that. Did you guys see the 2 interceptions that Joe Burrow had?
Yeah.
Back-to-back plays.
Yep.
Just unreal.
Well, I saw one. My internet cut out, and then I got back. I fired back up on the site, and I was like, "They're still on the sideline after they just scored." And then I was like, "Oh, he threw another pick," which
Yeah.
they were touting his stat about. It was like, "Oh, he hasn't thrown a pick in X amount of completions or attempts," and then he threw 2 for the first time ever in his career, back-to-back attempts. Like, oh, nice way to jinx him.
Yeah, and like I don't know, both of them were bad bounces. The second one was a terrible bounce, like just totally unlucky for the Bengals. But I mean, yeah, Buffalo's got magic when they're at home. The Titans got another win. They got their second win of the season against the Browns. We got Cam Ward out dueling Shedeur Sanders, and I think Shedeur Sanders wasn't on the field for the 2-point conversion to try and tie the game.
That was
So
really
that's
stupid.
And
That
they tried
actually
running a
pissed me off.
reverse and everything, and forgot to like pitch the ball or something. Like Quinshon Judkins, I think. I don't know. That was just a mess. But yeah, shout out the Titans getting their second win of the season. And moving on, the Vikings just absolutely stomped the Commanders, 31-0. Obviously the Vikings defense is decent, but I didn't think. I mean, we were all on the Commanders. I mean, seeing the Vikings play like that. I know the Commanders aren't great at the moment, but to beat anyone 31-0 in the NFL is pretty crazy. So shout out to Nine. He had 3 touchdowns in the day. I know we like to shit on him on this podcast, but still didn't break 170 yards, but had 3 tuds. And if you're a Justin Jefferson fantasy owner, Jay Jettas did not get any of those.
Good luck.
Yeah. Moving on, Dolphins took care of the Jets. Not a whole lot to say in that one, I don't think. The Saints went into Tampa and beat the Buccaneers. Nick talked about this one, I think, with Tyler Shuck. But that was kind of like a rain game. If you guys tuned into that one, it was kind of a sloppy rain fest. And man, like the Bucs are just banged up. Sad to see Baker kind of missing some throws. Emeka Ibuka dropped a walk-in touchdown. I don't know. The Bucs are just a weird team. Like they seem like they should be really good, and they're just mid. I know they have a lot of injuries, but
It's fucking coaching, bro. The coaching's dog shit.
yeah. And I mean, pretty unfortunate to have the Saints march into town at 2-10 and beat you at home. And then maybe one of the games that has been most talked about, or the result of it's been most talked about, Colts down in Jacksonville. Also a rain game down in Florida. The Jags just took care of the Colts. That game was never close. But Daniel Jones tearing his Achilles. and the opposite leg from his broken leg.
That's got to
Uh,
just be because he's putting too much pressure on it and he's just overcompensating. You got to
we,
think, right?
Yeah.
and you guys saw the video. Like it was just a pass. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It wasn't like other Achilles where like people are trying to run or like step up in the pocket or anything. Like he just
Yeah.
was trying to throw a pass. I thought it was kind of weird. But yeah, sucks to see for him, especially because like I think he was on just a 1 year deal with the
Yeah,
Colts.
you always feel for those kind of guys that are just
Right. So I mean, he was shaping up to get paid this offseason. Now he's probably going to be out the majority, if not all of next year. Definitely not going to get the same contract as he would have if he was able to just finish out with the broken leg. So
who knows,
yeah,
maybe Atlanta will sign him.
I mean, maybe, but that sucks for Daniel Jones as the human. But we get the 44-year-old
Oh my god.
grandfather, Philip Rivers, coming in to save the Colts season. How hyped are you guys?
I mean,
That's wild.
I'm a spoiler, I'm excited to bet against him. What, is he coming out straight off the couch? Has he been he's 44 years old. He definitely wasn't training all this time to
Well,
get another shot, right?
I mean, I've heard through Twitter, and I mean, what I'm trying to say is like I've heard through unverified sources that Philip Rivers still like to put the pads on every once in a while and let the ball go. And
What is he
apparently,
just hanging out at a high school? Just
well, yes, I don't know if you're trying to set me up here, but apparently he coached like his son's high school football team, and they run the same exact offense that the Colts run, allegedly. So apparently he's like I'm not even fucking with you. Like apparently he's like very familiar with the offense still, and that's part of the reason why the Colts brought him in.
I mean, yeah,
So
anybody that hangs around that long in the NFL, they're a very in they're especially at the quarterback position. That's like a cerebral it's a cerebral position. That's why Ryan Fitzpatrick from had a Harvard degree. He was able to hang around for what
yeah,
15, 20 plus years. And especially yeah, it helps if you're kind of in a more dumbed down version like a high school where you can think of a little bit more ripples and everything. So, yeah, I'm sure it'll be good for him. I wouldn't necessarily take him at home or on the road against Seattle for your first start back in the NFL, but good for him.
yeah. Well, and just one last piece on this. I'm sure we might touch on it later too, but um, Philip Rivers last played, I think, in 2020, and he's a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame, I believe, for this like incoming next
Mm-hmm.
year. So if he plays, which he's going to, that
Could
will
reset
reset his 5 year clock. So
Oh
I know
god.
we get pretty content or contentious or whatever the word is on Hall of Fame quarterbacks in this pod. The good news is we can revisit Philip Rivers' Hall of Fame candidacy in another 5 years. We don't have to worry about it right now.
Oh thank God, I was worried. I
Um,
mean,
moving on to the big AFC North matchup, the Steelers getting it done against the Ravens. I think, like Sean was saying, and maybe Nick too, Lamar is just broken currently, it seems like. He did have a
it's
rushing touchdown, but
I don't understand.
you know who else had a
I
rushing touchdown? I was zoning out taking my shots. I don't
Aaron
know if you,
fucking Rodgers.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a slip for first touchdown of that game being Rodgers, we want to see it because
What do you
that
think?
had to
What do you
have
think
been
that pays? Like
large.
40 to 1?
Dude,
I mean, just any time for Rodgers had to be like 20 to 1. So yeah,
Gotta be.
first time touch. Yeah. So shout out Raj, shout out the Steelers.
Broke the
Big
belt
win.
back out of retirement.
He
Love to
did,
see it.
and that's a big win for Tomlin's being over 500.
He
Now the
needed that
Steelers
one.
are 7-6 versus
They,
6-7. So
they needed it.
yeah, talking about big divisional matchups, the Broncos uh, going into Vegas and only beating the Raiders by 7.
No,
That
that's
is
Knew it,
some.
weird.
baby.
That's some.
Knew it,
No,
baby.
no,
Knew
no.
it, baby.
That was some
What do you mean,
fucking
no? It's
bullshit.
Yeah, Sean, why don't you let the listeners who maybe don't know what happened in that game, why don't you give them a recap of how that one
The
ended?
so essentially, how'd it go? The Broncos were up by 10, I believe, right? Because they won by 7. Yeah, so they were up by
Hmm.
10, or yeah, they were up by 10. As time was going, they were like, was it kicking a field goal?
Well, so the thing is, Denver was up 17 with 3 minutes left in the game. The Raiders had the ball. The Raiders go down, score a touchdown. So then the Raiders kick it off. I think they probably onside kick, right? But Denver gets the ball. Denver goes 3 and out. Raiders get the ball back. They're down 10 with like a minute 30 left or whatever, a minute left, they get the ball back. And then Kenny Pickett, who's in for the injured Geno Smith,
Yeah, rip.
throws like a 30-yard pass to somebody. I don't even know who it was on the Raiders. But he gets tackled inbounds with like 8 seconds left. So clock's running. Raiders have no timeouts. And mind you, they're down 10 points. So
Yep.
doesn't
Bring up
matter.
the field goal unit.
Right. Well, Broncos cornerback decides we're going to stunt on this poor Raiders wide receiver, and we're going to rip the ball out of his hands while he's still laying on the ground. Well, the refs see this, and you can't. I mean, the NFL is a no-fun league, right?
Was it not delay? What the hell was the proper term for that?
Yeah, it's delay a game, I think. It's
Yeah,
delay a game penalty, isn't
that's delay a game. Yeah.
Right. So,
Okay.
anyways, that stops the
Defensive
clock.
delay, yeah.
Right, and it's also like a 10-point. Jesus, these shots are hitting me hard already. 10-yard, or like I think it's a 10-yard penalty. So long story short, the Raiders with fucking like 5 seconds left, kick like a 40-yard field goal. So then they end up covering and losing by 7 still. So that was atrocious because that line was 7.5.
Yeah, just getting a rep for your kicker. Like the ref that called that, because that's seldomly called in the NFL. I was listening to somebody talk about it today, and go figure, the Giants were called for it, or it was a game that the Giants were affiliated with earlier in the year. That's happened 1, maybe 2 other times this year. So it's seldomly called.
Well, and I get the penalty if like the Raiders are actually driving there and
for
trying
sure.
to, if it matters.
Yeah.
But I mean, what the fuck are we doing? Like that clock is running out.
Just
Just
those refs
unreal.
want to get home. Like it's, yeah.
So yeah, that sucked. Anyways, just wanted to highlight that
That did not suck.
Could've
that's
been
just, that's a
Could've been a game.
bad beat, terrible beat, one of the worst beats of the NFL season for sure.
I knew my boy Pete was going to get me there.
Total up too.
It did fuck the total up too, yeah, because the
Yeah.
total, the total and Broncos spread both.
That's
got
why like
fucked by
that one needs to be investigated. That's questionable. I mean, I'm not
don't
saying
think so.
like Carroll
It
wise.
helped
I'm
me
saying
win.
the ref that called that. That's very questionable.
I don't know, but when are you supposed to stop calling, a proper game? Like if
It
you
was
guys are blaming the ref for even blowing the whistle
It was
there.
a 2-score.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like, as
okay,
time was
so
expiring.
after a
That
certain
can be a little
point, you're just
ticky-tack.
supposed to be like, nah, I'm not going to do my job anymore.
See, but the thing is, I think
Yeah.
it's a very ticky-tack call because he ripped it out of the guy's hand, but it's not like he like threw the ball or like got the ball away from the
Yeah.
referee. He just
I'm pretty-
he stripped the Raiders guy from the ball, like, and the Raiders guy I think got the ball back. So like
Yeah, but all that time is like, precious time. Like
all
I
that
saw this
time,
called.
it was like 1 second, and there's 8 seconds left with the clock running.
Yeah,
the
but
fucking
I'm pretty
offensive
sure-
linemen are still 20 yards away.
I'm pretty sure to the rule, like the opposing team can't touch the ball, and so he went out of his way to touch the ball to like delay them. So like, and it's so obvious. Like everybody's watching the guy get up off. Like if he got
But he wasn't getting up. He was laying on his back. So this is my problem with it. Is the Raiders like weren't really going quick there.
No,
like they
'cause
realized they
already
got
raised
down.
the white flag.
Right,
It
and
was
they're
over.
down inbounds. There's 8 seconds left. Like they weren't going to get another snap
They wanted
off.
to get home.
Right. So that's my problem with it. Like it's one thing if the Raiders were actually like on the ball waiting for that ball to be there. Then like yeah, I get it. But I don't know. The NFL sucks. You should be able to celebrate. You should be able to taunt. These dudes are getting CTE and fucking like just let them.
Yeah, but touching the ball though.
They just had the "My Cause, My Cleats" movement. The
Right.
players were able to express themselves with fun cleats.
Nah,
for
no,
one
slapping
game
the
out
ball
of the year.
out of some because that happened. What other fucking game that happened at this year? They got penalized because they were literally just trying to delay the game so they couldn't get up there and snap the ball in time.
I get it. If you're like a defensive lineman and they're trying to do like it's like 4th and goal and they do not a fullback, like a QB sneak or something, and you got like a lineman like surfing on the quarterback or somebody with the ball, but this is a little bit different.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are two
well, let's-
different things though. Like one's a
let's-
celebration, the other one's like
Well, other one's
obstructing the
actively
game.
trying to delay the game. Yes, which should be called.
Let's move on because I feel like we're going to spend a lot of time with this next game. In the NFC North, there's a new leader, and it's the Green Bay
bet.
Packers taking care of the Bears at home, 28-21. That first half was dominating from the Packers.
Oh my
Second
God.
half was not the greatest showing from the Packers. A couple 3-and-outs, and man, I mean, listen, Nick's gonna have a counter argument here. Caleb Williams impressed me with the fact that whenever the Bears seemed to need a play or a throw, he almost always delivered. Obviously, Keyshawn Nixon got him at the end of the game, but I was impressed with. I know he looked rough in the first half, but Caleb Williams has a fucking rocket of an arm, and he made plays when it mattered.
I don't know what happened or what kind of flip switched for him, and I think partially it was because our defense was gassed. They were able to do whatever they wanted in the run game wise. Like, I mean, the announcers were just pointing it out. Parsons was tired. The defense was exhausted. They were able to. Our run defense reared its ugly head, and I don't know if that required us to stack more guys in the box, and then the Bears receiving core, which they do have a good receiving core and tight end on occasion. They were able to kind of dink and dunk and even take some chunks out of our secondary again, which I do believe is the weakest part of our team. But overall I was impressed with him. Like I say, I was a fan of Caleb Williams when he was at USC. I absolutely hated that the Bears got him, and I will be a fan of him whenever he goes somewhere else. And unfortunately, it does pain me to say it as a Packers fan. He played very well. He played extremely well, and he's still super fucking young, which I don't love. And he's going to get better. To how much Ben Johnson unlocks his potential is still to be determined. But, I mean, Ben Johnson called a good game, but ultimately it's tough to win in Lambeau if you're the visiting team, unless you're the Carolina Panthers this season. But, yeah, I mean, I was impressed with what I saw. Fortunately, I'm happy the Packers got it done, and this is one that we needed. So, yeah.
Okay.
Nick, the floor is yours. This is your 10-minute rant time.
Yep. Timer
Dude.
starts now.
I'm so glad the Bears drafted crying Caleb Williams. That dude fucking sucks cock. I've never seen a quarterback worse than him, genuinely. Like, I would actually rather have J.J. McCarthy over Caleb Williams at this point. Nah, just kidding. But, so watching him play, I have been hate watching the Bears all year, so I can come out with smack talk.
Oh, do we want to talk about you being a double agent on Bears Twitter? Because that's all our feed is at this point.
Yeah. So his ability to escape sacks is and always has been fantastic. His biggest problem is accuracy. I think it's accuracy and Ben Johnson's play calling. I don't know why they try and make him a pocket passer when he's not a pocket passer. He makes really good things happen on the outside of the tackles. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in the first half, they tried making him a pocket passer. He barely left the pocket unless if he was pressured out. Second half, like, all they did was, like, do PA boots or get him to the outside. Every single time, they would just try and get him on the outside of the tackles for him to make plays. So he's always been a great playmaker. It's just his accuracy while in the pocket is fucking dog shit. And
But
that's...
I think consistently making throws on the run, and when you're doing those PA boots and everything, and more than likely you're going to have a DN come just screaming down at your face. Mm-hmm. Making those plays on the run and throws on the run are going to be way more hard, way more difficult consistently.
Yeah, 100%.
Just taking the easy things in the pocket.
100%. But he makes the easy things look hard. Like, any good quarterback should be able to stand in the pocket and make a throw. He cannot. He genuinely cannot stand in the pocket and make a throw. And if he can figure that out, then, you know, a whole world of possibilities opens up for crying Caleb, right? Like, I genuinely think he's a good quarterback. But the way Bears fans talk about him, he's the fucking messiah. Like, he's
I mean, I was trying to think about this all week. If I was a Bears fan and I've known no success other than Jay Cutler, which is a fucking man, and Rex Grossman leading that sorry-ass team to a Super Bowl, I would be pumped. I'd be through the moon. I'd be over the moon if Caleb
Yeah,
Williams is the
but
quarterback.
they're I don't know. This
That's
is the
the
same.
highest ceiling, highest potential that they've ever seen.
I
These are
yeah,
like fans of the entire franchise.
I completely understand that, but it seems like they're trying to put him in conversations that he doesn't belong in. Is what I'm noticing. Like every like
With the likes
teams,
of like Drake May and others.
yeah, like
I
up
mean,
there comparing him to like fucking Patrick Mahomes and shit like that.
I mean, this year's Patrick Mahomes, yeah.
Okay. But regardless, I mean, one thing that really bothered me in that game was the stalling of our offense, of the Packers offense, and I think that was purely because we were just getting killed by penalties. Kept getting fucking murdered by penalties, getting us in bad positions, and so then we had to make, hero plays to try and get shit done. Jordan Love did throw a fucking horrible interception. I wanted to bang my head against the table when I saw that.
Yeah.
But what
No
is
one,
that?
no one missed.
3 or 4 for this 4 for the season, I think now. And people call him interception prone. He's definitely
But when
not.
he doesn't do that, but when he throws picks, they're fucking bad.
Yeah. Like when you
They're
do,
really, really bad.
yeah, you're like, did you just like, do you have a blind spot, buddy? Like genuinely in your eyes, like, do you have a blind spot? And he was just sitting there. Um, yeah, Jordan Love played great. The ground game was working for a second, which was great to see. But yeah, penalties really killed us, and I think that if we don't kill ourselves with penalties again, I think we win by 2 touchdowns. The Bears were good, but we're better.
So I get that it's chippy. I get it's a rivalry game. Obviously, it's the NFL, so grown men are going to be talking shit. But can we? And again, I've always blamed LaFleur on this. When you get dumb shit penalties like Keyshawn Nixon in the first half, and I think a little bit in the second half, that's on coaching, and I will always blame LaFleur on that. Is he? What the fuck did he do? I know the announcers were saying, "Oh, so and so could have possibly been from the Bears could have been ejected for throwing a punch." Nixon came in and a couple of these plays where there was one where it was extremely noticeable. It was third and I forget what it was, third and something, and we got it, so it would have been fourth, and it was on their Bears side of the field, and then Nixon extended the play, made another penalty to either extend it or it was like second down or something, and kept the drive alive, and then they ended up getting a touchdown out of that. Granted, he made up for it by making the game not game saving, but game sealing interception. But Keyshawn Nixon's got to get his shit together.
yeah, I mean, he's trying to play the bad boy. He thinks he's cornerback one. He said that going into the offseason
He's
that he wanted to be cornerback one.
2 or 3 at
Right.
best.
But like that's his persona. He's just trying to be that tough guy for the Packers defense. And I don't hate it. I like to see defenders have some moxie to them. However,
For sure. But you got to be smart.
when you're costing your team, that's when it's a problem. So I don't
I
want
did see
him to
LaFleur get
soft,
after him a
but-
little bit once he took him. I was screaming at the TV, get him the fuck out of the game after that first one. And then after the second one, like I was gonna throw something at my TV, but fortunately, I mean the TV doesn't have any feelings, and I'd be down a couple $100, so it'd have been unfortunate. But yeah, then I was very happy to see LaFleur get after him on the sideline, but how much of that is actually retained and listened to, we'll see.
All right. Well, let's keep her moving here. In the NFC West, the Rams took care of the Cardinals. Jacoby
Goddamn.
Brissett continues to be the only bright spot in that Cardinals team. But yeah, I mean, the Rams are a wagon this year. Matt Stafford is going to win the MVP, and they're a fun team to watch. Their defense isn't too bad, and their offense is just littered with weapons. I mean, Blake Corum is getting a ton of touches for them now and delivering too. So I kind of hate to see that as a Kyron Williams fantasy holder, but I mean that offense is tough to stop. And yeah, they put up 45 against the Cardinals. So
Very happy to see that wake up call after getting their ass beat by a good Carolina Panthers team, making our loss look a lot better.
yeah, and talking about getting their asses kicked, the Chiefs. Sucks to be them, or maybe not because they've been so good for so long. But the Texans go into Arrowhead on Sunday night And man, that Texas defense is legit, and the Chiefs just couldn't really get anything going. And yeah, I mean, Chiefs are pretty much dead. I think they'd have to obviously win out and then have some help to make the playoffs.
Yeah, usually you see a like a gradual decline, like because were the Chiefs a 1 or a 2 seed this year? I forget, or last year.
That's a good question.
They were probably a 1.
But I mean, they definitely won the division, so they were top 4. But usually, like, yeah, you see them get to like win the division, get second or whatever, get a wild card spot, and then like the again gradual decline off of a mountain. But
Yeah, they were the one
this
last
is
year,
hard. Yeah, I mean, not like
and they
a
were
worse
15-2.
Yeah, that's the
Oh
last
yeah,
year was the year where they won every game by like fucking one,
yep,
like one score.
Yep.
yep. You're 100% right. So I mean, that's good in general that the trend is regressing to the mean in the one score games and everything. But I didn't think. I thought that they'd make the playoffs for sure. It's crazy. And I mean, this week we're gonna see how desperate they are
Yeah.
going
Well, and
against a Chargers team. I mean,
that's the wild thing to me is obviously they've lost some pieces, but like you still have Patrick Mahomes, 30 years old, middle of his prime, and you're like barely, well, you're not even 500 yet after making it to the Super Bowl the year before. Like it's weird to see a team kind of like if this is 6 or 7 years in the future and Patrick Mahomes is creeping up on 40, it's like yeah, it's time for the
yeah,
Chiefs to have this
Father
fall off.
Time's
But
undefeated.
right, but having it happen when Patrick Mahomes is still like middle of his prime age wise, and it is kind of shocking.
Well, I mean, again, completely two different systems, but I feel like it'd be like if the Patriots win Tom Brady, maybe like in 2013 or 2015 or whatever, where it'd be like, fuck, we had 16 games back then, so like, oh fuck, the Patriots are 5-7. What the hell's going on around here? It's just weird.
Yep. Um. All right, and then yeah, Monday night, Eagles Chargers. I mean, what a disgusting game from Jalen Hurts.
Did you
Uh,
watch any of it on the Monsters Inc. style?
that is the only broadcast I watched. I watched the
I
entire game like that, and my wife enjoyed the hell out of it.
my fiance was also very into it, and I was also I tuned into ESPN like on the app to just check something, and I was like, "What the fuck? They scored?"
Yeah.
And yeah, oh yeah, she's giving me 2 thumbs up because she was a big fan of the game.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
my
she was a
only.
big fan of Mike. Mike played great
Yeah.
tonight. Mike played great on Monday.
Yeah. I mean, so that was my only complaint about the broadcast. I get it's got to be a little bit delayed, probably from the actual game.
Yeah, they got to figure out what the fuck's happening. How can they make these
Right.
monsters and football players do
But
this?
like that was the thing too, is they are always putting Mike Wazowski and Sully in the impact positions. So that's why like Sully had like 4 interceptions against
Well,
Jalen
that's
Hurts.
also what I wanted to see. I was like, is this Mike Wazowski, or is Saquon doing this, or is it like the
Yeah.
second running back doing this?
Right.
Who broke that 50-yard run? I assume it's Saquon.
Yeah, and like that play, obviously it's confusing watching it with real football, but when Jalen Hurts throws the interception, fumble, Jalen Hurts
Oh my
recovers the
God.
fumble, fumbles, that play in Monsters Inc. world was so hard to follow.
It broke him. It broke him. Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. Like I said, it's very it'll get the kids into football.
Right.
It's good.
It's a good change up. I mean, it seems like they have one of those broadcasts a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Definitely something that if it was every week, it'd be overplayed, but it's nice to see
Oh,
it happen every once in a
Yeah.
while. All right. Well, I guess maybe one thing I kind of skipped over in that Vikings game, Jaden Daniels hurt his elbow again. He threw a pick and then got
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
destroyed and landed on his elbow. It was in a
That
ton of
lit the
pain.
fuck up.
And then also Zach Ertz in that game. I don't know if you guys saw the video.
That was a
but,
bummer. I watched that shit live. It was that
I
was
mean,
sad.
he took a corner flying at him. Zach Ertz jumped up in the air to catch a ball.
He might be done.
He's done. Corner lays out right into his knee. I mean, leg moves in a way a leg shouldn't move. Everything's got to be torn in his knee, and I mean, he's already up there in age. It's sad to see his career end like that.
Yeah.
But maybe positive news that I think we also kind of, well, I don't know. The Bucks are getting some much needed help. They activated Evans and McMillan from IR, so
Yeah.
Baker will have more weapons. And I mean, Buccaneers are going to need it for a playoff push here at the end of the season after dropping that game against the Saints this week.
It'll be interesting to see how that South shapes out at the end of the year.
Yeah. Anything else from Week 14, boys?
No, I can't believe it's already going to be Week 15. The season's moving too fast. I hate it.
It is.
It's football and then time without football, and time without football makes me sad.
Yeah, it still feels like it should be Week 7 or 8, honestly.
Yeah.
So
bring us back to September.
Shout out
What's
to
up, Nick?
Shadeur Sanders. You're playing
You
great.
back to apologize again?
He played great back-to-back weeks. He's
He
back to
is
apologizing.
confirmed the starter.
Yep.
The rest of the year because Stefanski had to. I'm sure he just got sick of saying it week to week. So yeah, he has claimed him as the starter the rest of the year.
And now this is where Sanders fucking falls. I'm joking. No hate. Good job, Sanders. Keep it up.
All right, and then one piece of news that just broke that's not NFL related, but college football related. Sharon Moore, who was the Michigan coach, was fired today, December 10th, 2025, for cause. And what does that cause, you say? Because that's big in college football world. If you're not aware, college football coaches have these crazy contracts. If you're bad, they fire you. But you still get all that money that's on your contract. Like you're getting $60 million to not coach a team. It's the best job in the world. Because if you're bad at it, you still get all your money.
A buyout is insane.
Right. But if you get fired for cause, meaning they have a reason to fire you outside of you just being a bad football coach, they don't owe you that money. And they said Sharon Moore was fired for cause. Now, again, this is coming out today as we're recording. It dropped a couple hours before now. Allegedly, don't sue us.
Allegedly about it.
He impregnated a staffer who appears to be over the legal age, but not necessarily super old.
Damn it! I was going to say better than a co-ed, but shit. That's
older or younger than Bill Belichick's girlfriend?
I think older than Jordan, but not by much. And again, allegedly, and Sharon Moore was married, has kids, I believe.
Is, I believe, still.
Yeah, so what a messy situation. I also saw, allegedly, that staffer had 2 seasons with Michigan where they were allegedly paid like $50,000, and then conveniently this year they got a raise to allegedly like $90,000. So,
damn, I wish
yeah, I mean,
that's nice.
So yeah, Sharon Moore's out for Michigan. And this is kind of a weird thing because, like, the Lane Kiffin saga just went on. Penn State just hired their coach. They poached Iowa State's coach. So, like, there's not a lot of big names currently out there for Michigan to go after. So they're going to have to try and poach somebody. Well, I mean, yeah, they could have him.
Fickle. I don't know. Just saying. We want to start that one?
I don't know. I saw – so this is from Barstool. Gruden, potentially, going to Michigan?
No, I'd hate that. I'd hate that. I want him to go to the Giants.
Yeah, I just saw Dave Portnoy tweeted something about, like, it was like a newspaper clipping, or I forget what it was, but like a young Gruden, and it's like his like goal was to like become the coach of Michigan or something. So, anyways,
so mad.
Yeah, developing story here in the college football world. Pretty wild to be the head coach at such a big university and then be married, have kids, and have an affair like this be your downfall. But
don't worry, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, we'll keep looking into it. And as I said, allegedly, all these things, don't sue us. All right, well, let's move on to happier times and Week 15 of the NFL season. So last week in spreads, Nick went 8-6, Sean went 7-7, and I had a putrid 5-9 week. And that caused some shakeup in the overall spread results. Nick's still our leader. He's our secretariat, 106, 99, and 3. Sean is now in second place, 103, 102, and 3. I'm in last, and I'm also under 500, 102, 103, and 3. So I'm 1 game back of Sean, and Sean's 3 games back of Nick. And yeah, I mean, this hurts. I hate being last, and I really hate being under 500. So
We'll
we're gonna
soon
have,
learn it ain't easy to toe that fine line
yeah.
of slightly good to slightly bad.
I'm gonna have a comeback this week. I'm calling it. And regards to squad rides, we had 6 of them last week, and we went 3-3. So our squad ride record through week 14, we are still even at 52, 52, and 2.
Love it.
All right, well then let's move into week 15 spreads. We have a full slate this week. We are finally done with all the buys. So for the next 4 weeks, the remaining 4 weeks of the NFL season, we'll have 16 games throughout the week. And starting off Thursday night, which is tomorrow night from when we're recording this podcast, big ol' NFC South matchup. The Falcons heading down to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Buccaneers getting some pieces back with Mike Evans and McMillan. So more pieces for Baker to throw. Hopefully that means Ibuka is going to start producing again because he's been very quiet the last few weeks. But anyways, the Buccaneers are favored by 4.5 at home in this Thursday night matchup, divisional matchup against the Falcons. Nick, since you won last week, you can lead us off, and yeah, Sean, you go second, and I'll be the caboose.
Oh God! Either this is gonna be a fucking close as shit game, or it's gonna be a blowout. There's gonna be no in between. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay here. I don't. Is Kirk Cousins still starting for Tampa or for Atlanta?
You bet.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Does that sway you? You
no,
like that?
no, that
You
I
like that?
I,
I
I,
like that.
no, no. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay here. I just hope that they heat up, that they're gonna find their footing again and be able to pick up some steam going into the playoffs. Baker's just fun to watch.
I would agree. Baker is electric. But so most of my handicapping was done early in the week, so I could do fuck all with the rest of it and just hang out and not have to worry about picking out or figuring out any kind of inch I could get on you guys. But essentially, I had a lot of look ahead line or not look ahead lines, but the week before lines, and I do like to see how it is either expanded or closed depending on certain situations. And it did open at 7.5 for the Bucks and closed. Granted, the Bucks did get embarrassed a little bit, and yet another divisional matchup. But they're going to be, I don't know, they're going to be looking a little bit of a look ahead spot with the Panthers at Carolina on deck. So that could be a little tricky, but at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go Tampa Bay. Just because even though they're a little banged up, they're still starting to get healthy. They weren't necessarily 100% at the beginning of the season, but I don't give a shit. Close spread, Thursday, under a touchdown. Give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, we're gonna have a squad right here to start.
Woo.
I get the hesitation because the Buccaneers did get embarrassed at home against the Saints last week. But if you didn't watch that game, it was a rain fest. I mean, it wasn't like downpour monsoon, but it was a wet game, sloppy game. And yeah, like if the Buccaneers want to make the playoffs, they have to win this game. Earlier this year, I was always picking the dogs in divisional matchups on Thursday nights. But Nick brought up a great point. Kirk Cousins is still leading this Atlanta Falcons team. So if the Buccaneers can't win by 5 points at home against Kirk Cousins and the banged up Falcons, I mean Drake London's out of the game too still. So yeah, it's got to be the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks minus 4.5. All right, moving on to a big AFC East matchup. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills heading to New England to take on Drake May and the Patriots. And kind of maybe a slightly surprising line here. The Bills are currently road 1.5 point faves. It's kind of disrespectful to the Patriots, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, no, I could see how. I'm going back and looking at my history of how I've done with betting on the Patriots because I've been a Patriots homer all year. I mention it every week that the Patriots get brought up. I don't know. This just feels like a get right game for like Josh Allen. Josh Allen to like show everybody that he's that guy still, you know. Like, I don't know. I just feel it in my balls. Like, it just feels like he's going to go out there, do what needs to be done. Have I bet on the Patriots? Oh my God. Wait, what? Looking back, I think I've bet on the Patriots almost every week.
You get it? You love the Pats, dude.
Dude, wait, what the fuck? I didn't realize I was that big of a Pats homer.
Josh
Yeah.
Allen's in your balls. So are you? What are you like? You gonna trust the sheet or are you gonna trust your balls?
Oh God.
I mean, this is like big here.
I know it is, and I don't know. Fucking
What a
cat
time!
feeder. I know.
That feeder's going off, dude. You can't even mute yourself. Oh,
Right.
you gotta say
No,
something
no,
now.
you have to bear fucking witness to my cat feeder going off. Oh my God, I didn't bet on the Patriots 1 week. Okay,
Yeah, it's working out for you.
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Buffalo here. I don't feel great about it. I definitely don't feel great about it. But it's just like one of those games that like Josh Allen is gonna go out there and be like, guys, I was MVP last year. I'm not going to allow my team to lose this bad right now. He did that with like against the fucking Bungles, you know, like he went out there and put his team on his back, and I think that he can do it this week. My beloved Patriots, I'm sorry, this can be the second time I'm betting against you guys, but it just feels like a Josh Allen game, personally.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's pretty long-winded. I loved it when, again, the look-ahead line here, not the look-ahead, but the beginning of the week line was Buffalo plus 1.5, which I would have been all over, hammered it, all that stuff. I liked Buffalo to cover then, liked them a little bit to even win outright. I love them to win outright here. All these motherfuckers have been hearing for the last month, 2 months, is the Patriots are back. They got a new dynasty. Drake May's the guy. Josh Allen's going to have something to say about it. I don't give a shit that it's in Foxborough. Josh Allen should, if he's the guy that everybody's been saying he's been, MVP, let's see it. Show out, beat a division rival, reclaim. I don't think they can reclaim the division technically this week, but take a step towards reclaiming the division, get it done, and beat the Patriots, preferably by more than 2 points. 2 points or more.
Yeah, so kind of like what you said there, this is a pretty big game because right now the Patriots are up 2 games in the AFC North, or AFC East, sorry. And obviously there's only 4 games left, including this week. So the Bills need this if they want to have a shot at the division. Just looking at schedules, it doesn't look great though for the Bills because the Patriots
they got a
got
tough schedule.
Buffalo this week, but then the Patriots have at Baltimore, at New York, and Miami at home to finish it out.
You're Jets or Giants?
The Jets.
Matters.
So
all right.
it does, but like at worst,
Oh yeah, they just played
Patriots
the
are
Giants.
probably going 2-2. Probably. Now looking at the Bills' schedule, theirs is a little. I mean, they got the Patriots this week, then they're going on the road to Cleveland, Eagles at home, and then they also play the Jets week 18. So I guess the Bills already lost to New England too, so this is a must-win game for the Bills, and that's why I'm taking the Patriots. Patriots off their bye week. I think Vrabel's going to have the team ready for this game, and I think you're going to have an opposite effect too if you're Vrabel. Of everybody's telling you that you guys aren't for real. You're 11-2. You guys, aren't the team that your record shows. And the Bills have struggled to get away from Buffalo this year. They're 3-3 on the road. They lost to Miami on the road. They lost to Atlanta on the road. I mean, and they lost to Houston on the road. So I know that Houston game is one. I mean, they're a good defense, but losing to Miami and Atlanta on the road earlier in the year, that's tough. So anyways, I'm going to take the Patriots plus 1.5. Next one we got, it's going to be the Browns heading to Chicago to take on the Bears. and the Bears are home 7.5 point favorites after losing the NFC North lead last week to the Packers. Nick, who do you like in this battle?
This is gonna be a really weird game. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of either team, to be honest. Like, I still don't trust Shador. I kind of given him his flowers a little bit, but like, I just don't really trust him that much. And against a good Chicago defense, I could smell a lot of issues arising in that game. But at the same time, I don't see how Miles Garrett doesn't fucking break the sack record against Caleb Williams. Genuinely. So I'm gonna go with the Browns here. I'm gonna trust them a little bit more than I do the Bears. And the spread's just kind of fucking fat. I think the Bears are kind of frauds, for what everybody thinks they are. I think they're a
Really?
good team. They're just not there yet. Like, they're good, but they're just not great. And they don't belong in a lot of conversations that people are putting them in. So, give me the Browns. I just trust them more.
Yeah, seen.
So the weather temp here, it was going to be like, I think at one point I was reading, it's going to be a real feel of like not minus 20 degrees, which is football weather for those of you that think, oh, it should be played indoors, in arena, the security of the players and the fans. Fuck that. Play it out in the cold, let people die. If they die, they die.
That's why Drew
And
Brees is not a Hall of Famer right there. Played in a dome. I'm
all right.
joking. I'm joking.
We can discuss that in the off season when we got nothing going on. But yeah, I do think Miles Garrett again. He's quietly tallying them up again. He got a sack last week. I don't know how he only got one. He should have had two and a half probably. But I think he's going to probably get home a couple times on Caleb Williams if he's able to not get shrugged off by that escape artist, the Houdini. But I think it's gonna be Cleveland here, or at least to cover 7.5. It's too much.
Yeah, this is going to be a squad ride in the Browns. I agree, I guess, with that hook, 7.5 being a little bit too much. And I guess I also had the same point that Sean was making about the weather. It's going to be cold in Chicago.
It's gonna be
and
awesome.
It's called the Windy City for a reason. It seems like it's always windy there. Basically, I mean, I think this is just going to be a defensive slugfest. I think the Bears will win.
Bears.
But I mean, in a cold weather game like this, points are going to be a premium, and 7.5 is a big number. So, yeah, I'll take the Browns as well, plus 7.5. Moving on to the biggest number of the week, tied with another game, but biggest number of the week, 13.5 points. That's what the Jags are favored by at home against the New York Jets. I mean, the Jags were jagging off last week at home against the Colts, and now they play a far worse team in the Jets at home. Nick, why are you jagging off this week?
I don't know if I'm going to be jagging off. That's just a lot of points. I know the Jets are fucking horrible. That's a lot of fucking points. That's it. It's just a lot of fucking points. And I don't think the Jags are that good. So I'm going to go with the Jets here purely because that's just a lot of fucking points for a mediocre team.
I get it. I understand. But the Jags are also 8-5 against the ATS this year, against the spread. And I mean, like I said, they were going to win last week for sure. They still may lose the division, but I don't know. The Jets look good against Tua in the cold last week. When we're going against a wetsuit Tua, you always got to keep that one in mind. And the Jets team, I don't know. Did Tyra got banged up in this game, right? Like he got hurt. Is that correct? Did I forget to put that on the rundown?
I'll be honest, I didn't even watch that game. So,
Let me
I didn't
check
either.
here. Tyrod Taylor injury.
yeah, it said he suffered a groin injury.
Yeah. So if it's Justin Fields, who is the most one-dimensional quarterback in the league, if they're able to shut down the run, the Jets may get a field goal, maybe 10 points. I think the Jags are going to at least get 28 points. So give me the Jags here.
Yeah, I'll also be jagging off this week, partially because they've covered this 3 out of the last 4. Like Sean said, they're 8-5 against the spread this year, but they've covered 13.5 in 3 out of the last 4. One of those against the Chargers, one against the Titans, and one against the Colts. The only game they didn't cover that in was the overtime game at Arizona. Jags are 5-2 at home. Yeah, if Justin Fields is out there, like Sean said, I love this even more. But I'll take the Jags as well. I'll be jagging off.
I am curious to see what your record is with the Jags when you pick them.
It's
I
not
am
great, I don't think.
I don't love that for me, but
Well, so it seems like whenever I don't pick the Jags win. But I don't know. I feel like I also, whenever I have picked the Jags, it's not good. So I have a love-hate relationship with jagging off.
so far you're about
Um,
500 from what I'm seeing. So we'll roll the dice here.
yeah, it could happen. Moving on to a potentially exciting divisional battle. The Baltimore Ravens heading into Cincinnati take on Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And man, has this Bengals team looked different since Joe Burrow came back.
Joe Burrow's so cool. I love Joe Burrow.
And even with that loss at home to Pittsburgh last week, the Ravens are still 2.5-point favorites in this game. So Nick, what do you think about this matchup?
Give me Cincy. Lamar Jackson is broken. I don't know. It must be. They must have replaced him with a fucking crackhead off the street because dude is ass. All right, ass, booty cheeks. He's the worst QB I've seen since 2025. Patrick Mahomes, dog shit. Okay. Joe Burr can fucking put up points. You can't. All right, it's gonna be a slugfest. All right, I know it's a divisional game. It's not gonna be a slugfest. I'm sorry. Joe Burr's gonna fucking put his nuts. Gonna score 35. I don't think Lamar Jackson can fucking do that. I genuinely think Lamar Jackson can't do that. All right, especially by 2.5 points. Nah, dog. Nah.
Sean?
Now, you're in a very similar situation, Brogan, that I've been in for the almost entirety of the NFL season when we're picking against the spread, about how we pick last. And some of the games that we pick, it's not necessarily that, oh, I feel good about this game. It's not wanting to lose a point based off of everybody else going a certain direction. I did not want to lose a point on a Thanksgiving Day, on a short week, with the Bengals and the Ravens. And thankfully I didn't, but goddamn it, I wish I did, because I had a good feeling about that Ravens team, or not the Ravens, the Bengals team on Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, I did not go with that, my gut feeling then. I am going to go with it now, learn my lesson, and I'm going to be riding with Joe Burrow and the boys to possibly make a run at the division. I liked what I saw against them in Buffalo. They showed a little bit of spirit. Now, they're going to need some help. They're going to need that AFC North to beat up on each other a little bit, but give me the Bengals at home here. You can't overlook a divisional game, but the Ravens do play I believe they're top-seeded Patriots next week. So, could be a little bit of a look-ahead spot. I don't know.
Yeah, this is just a weird spread. We've had a couple of these this year, and it's like, what does Vegas know? Obviously, the Bengals didn't win last week, but I felt like they were kind of in control of that game, and they let it slip away. And that was against the Bills. Obviously, these teams played a couple of weeks ago, like Sean pointed out, in Baltimore. And the Bengals went in there in Joe Burrow's first game back and took care of business in Baltimore. Now this game's in Cincinnati. Um, I just I'm going Baltimore. I'm flipping. I was gonna go Cincinnati, um, but I can't play it safe. I'm one game back. I need to fight my way back above you
Oh,
guys.
a desperation.
And I mean, Baltimore can't lose this game. They're going to be 2 games back if they do because Pittsburgh's got the Dolphins this week at home. After losing to Pittsburgh last week, the Ravens need this game. They're going to have that revenge factor from losing a couple weeks ago to the Bengals. And yeah, I mean, this is a big game for the Ravens. I'm going to trust them get it done by 3 points. So I'll take the Ravens. Don't love it though.
Ooh, flip flop, a little Benedict action.
Yeah. Moving on to potentially a squad ride game. The Cardinals heading into Houston to take on arguably the NFL's best defense, and Houston is home 9.5 point favorites. Nick, are you going to be the brave soul that takes the Cardinals?
Fuck no. CJ Stroud is ass, but he can, his defense will carry him, baby. All right. I'm counting on that defense showing up again. There's no way Jacoby Briskett's going to be able to do anything against that D. So, yeah, give me Houston.
Well, and sorry, Sean, I'm going to cut in here. Nick was saying
Take
that CJ Stroud needs the defense to carry him here. This Cardinals defense has given up over 40 points in 3 out of their last 5 games. So, not that CJ Stroud's necessarily going to put up 40, but I mean, this is a fucking paper tiger defense. So yeah, I'm taking Houston. Sean?
Yeah, I mean, with the Jags winning and the Colts seemingly able to drop off, I think the AFC South is able to get 2 teams in the into the playoffs, and Houston knows that. Indy knows that. It's going to be some desperation mode, or it's going to be just desperation in the next 2 weeks whenever these teams are playing. So, give me the team with the better defense and shit. Hello. Did you lose me or no?
No,
we got you.
we
Loud
heard.
and
We
clear.
Oh,
heard you,
perfect.
buddy.
All right. I saw my mic like half unplugged. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just
No,
gonna
we
ramble
got
into the
you.
void. Even worse than the void. Yeah, like I was saying, give me the better team, or give me the team with a better defense and just overall better everything in Houston. So, yeah, give me Houston.
All right, moving on to lines that stink. Squad ride there, by the way, on Houston. Moving on to lines that stink.
Oh, I don't like this one.
The Chargers heading into Arrowhead after the Chiefs lost to the Texans on Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are home 5.5 point favorites. Now, I haven't been looking at the lines too much this week, but when I was putting our spreadsheet together, I thought I had this flipped. I had to go check DraftKings again. The Chiefs, I get it, are at home, but 5.5 point favorites against the Cardinals. Oh Jesus! The Chargers.
What?
The Tennessee honey is starting to speak.
I was
But
thinking about having that tonight.
what is going on with this line?
Uh,
What am I missing? What am
I
I
think
I don't know.
I think Chris Collinsworth is making the lines now because this doesn't make any fucking
Here's
sense.
a guy that needs to be favored by 6 points or more.
Because when he has the ball in his hands, he can make anything happen.
like?
If it was Sunday night, I'd say sure, maybe I could see that. Monday, hell, why not? Thursday even, okay, you could convince me on a short week, but I
Well,
don't understand it.
Herbert is obviously banged up with having surgery on his non-throwing hand.
Yeah, didn't look great against the Eagles either.
Right, but like the Chiefs are 1-4 straight up in their last 4 games. The one win was the overtime win against Indianapolis, which was in Arrowhead. But like, how is this game? If okay, Chiefs are at home, sure they're favored, but how is it not like 2.5, 1.5? Like, how is this 5.5?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it stinks to high heaven. Sorry, Nick. I'm gonna steal this one.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the Chiefs schedule
brother.
right now, and like of the past, like the games. I mean, Texans they beat the shit out of them. Like it was super physical, and Chiefs just didn't stack up. I get like the Arrowhead mystique and everything, but I get the Texans had a good defense, but if you're only putting up 10 points against the Texans defense, Chargers are going to try and establish the run. If you're not built for that, if you're not able to stop it, it's going to be a long night. And sure, the Chiefs could win. It's a home game for them. Anything's possible, but we're looking more at them eking out one or like a late field goal, last second field goal. If Brogan's looking at it, because he's got the spreadsheets, I didn't know who I'm going with. I had this one hovered for like 20 minutes. I don't love the line. Give me the Chargers here.
All right, Nick, are you brave enough to take the Chiefs?
No. Patrick Mahomes is a fucking fraud. Jordan Love's better.
Like, make it 3.5. Make it interesting. I don't know. Understand 5.5? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Well, that's
weird.
what I don't understand.
And I get home field advantage. You can give. It used to be 3 points straight up for like neutral field, away, whatever, and that's totally fine. But now it's shifted since then to like 1.5, 2 points at most. So you're telling me that, I mean, it's closer to you're telling me Chargers are of 4 points better than the Chiefs on a neutral? They played in Brazil and they beat the shit out of them. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This just feels like, what the hell does Vegas know? Because if there's ever a week I mean, I know Patrick Mahomes is rarely ever a dog at home. But if there's ever a week for them to be a dog at home and the public to not crush it, I feel like it'd be this week. I don't know. I'm going Chargers as well. This line is very, very, very confusing. But squad ride on the Chargers plus 5.5 going into Arrowhead. The next one is a doozy of a game. The Raiders are heading to Philly, and I mean, this line is 11.5. The Eagles are favored at home at 11.5. But I mean, the Eagles were looking like Super Bowl favorites, 8-2 just a couple weeks ago, and now all of a sudden they're 8-5, 3 straight losses. 11.5 is a lot of points, Nick. What do you gonna back the Raiders here?
No.
In Philly?
No. The Raiders are dog shit. They're coaching fucking horrible. Everything about that, they need to cleanse that org from the top to the bottom. I will only take them for individual matchups because for some reason they can keep teams close. Anything else outside of that, they're fucking horrible. I swear to God. Even though it's 11.5 points, and I think Jalen Hurts is lobotomized at quarterback, he's still probably better than Geno Smith. Yeah, give me Philly. I do not see how the Raiders can cover. Genuinely.
All right, Sean, you back in the Raiders?
well, I was really hoping to get a reaction out of you with the putting in Las Vegas. Nothing right away. LOL. Kidding. Just kidding. Just jokes, folks. Just jokes. Yeah, the pick, like my pick, just has more to do with my overall lack of trust in this Raiders offense. I don't understand. I don't know if the Raiders are going to be able to score more than a touchdown, maybe 9 points on the road at Philly. Like it's tough. It's going to be tough, and it's more of my lack of trust and them going cross country than anything else. So, give me birds here.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a squad ride here on the birds. It's like I want to be different. I know squad rides don't help me in my current standings, but
Don't worry, you're gonna be able to you're either with me or against me pretty soon here.
If this was anybody besides the Raiders, I might be doing it, but they're just. Is Geno Smith playing? Is Geno Smith playing, or is Kenny? Because Kenny Pickett kind of had that offense rolling. I might be flipping.
I think Kenny Pickett. Really? All right, play the flute. Get the Benedict going.
Oh, he's doubtful. Oh, I mean, Kenny Pickett. The revenge game? Wasn't he on the Eagles for a little bit?
He was for like a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Look at that pull. That's pretty good on the fly. Uh, mm, uh, nah, I'm sticking. I'm not.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
All right, let's move on before I change my mind. In the next game, somebody's got to win this game. I think they could tie.
Be
They
awesome.
might tie. The tie is in play. Commanders heading to New York to take on the New York Football Giants. The Giants are home 2.5 point favorites. Yeah, I mean, Commanders are 3-10, and the Giants are 2-11, I believe. So somebody has to probably get a win here. Nick, what do you like?
I'm gonna go with the Giants. I think they want to win a little bit more. Um, I don't feel good about it. It hurts me to say, but yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah, it shouldn't.
I'll go with the Giants this week. They're gonna find a way to win because, like I said, they want to win. All right, everybody on the Commanders just does not seem like they want to win anymore.
No. The Commanders, they just bad time all around. Just a bad hang. You don't want that.
Yeah,
Jackson Dart's healthy, or at least that's what the media tells us Jackson Dart is. So I'll buy it. There's no blue tent around for him to hang out in for a little bit. So I'll go Jackson Dart here. And historically, like these teams have played each other pretty tight, and sometimes the Giants have actually historically played them pretty well over the years. So give me the Giants here.
Yeah, I just actually threw this into my locks. Spoiler alert, but
I was thinking about
um,
that. Good damn it.
I'm locking the Giants here, and here's why. Yeah, the Giants are 2-11. Yeah, they're a bad football team. However, their last 5 games, guess what the worst current record of any of those teams they've played is? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Eight and
6 wins.
five. 8-5.
Yep.
And that's the
Sounds
Detroit
about
Lions.
right.
So
Sounds about
the
right.
last 5 they played 5 weeks ago. The Niners, then they played the Bears, then they played the Packers, then they played the Lions. Took the Lions to OT, shout out Jameis, and then lost to the Patriots. So they've kind of had a murderer's row of a schedule for the last over a month. They
So
lost the
these
quarterback. Jackson Dart's back. The Commanders just went to Minnesota and got embarrassed by 9 and the Vikings. The Giants are going to steamroll the Commanders, and I'm blocking Giants -2.5.
Well, absolutely love the confidence there.
Moving on to potentially the game of the week. There's not that many super exciting games this week, at least in my opinion. But I mean, both being a homer and outside of being a homer, 2 great football teams going at it. The Packers heading to Denver to take on the Broncos. Packers, kings of the NFC North, are road 2.5 point favorites. Nick, why are the Packers going to cover?
the Broncos are frauds. That's exactly why. I do not believe in Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is a fine quarterback, but I don't believe in him. Like, if there was 5 minutes left in the game and I had Bo Nix at my quarterback and he had to go down there and score a touchdown, I'd sleep pretty easy. You know, if he was on the other team, I'd sleep pretty easy because I just don't believe in that guy. Uh, I'm a homer. All right, believe it or not. And the Packers are
No.
just so much better.
Shocking.
Now that we've expanded our offense, the one thing that worries me is the look ahead spot to Chicago again. You know, so that's the one concerning thing this week. But I don't know. I feel really good about this Packers team. They have the defense and their offense is there. They just gotta fucking use it right. All right. So give me Green Bay.
This line was floating around like 0.5 point, 1.5 points Packers right away. And it is tough to win in Mile High. And I do. What are the Packers right now? 9-3-1, Nick?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have them going 12-4-1. So I do have them finishing the season out 3-1. And the toughest part of picking that was what game they're going to lose. Now, I have them losing one game in the next. They're either losing this week or they're losing next week. I know you hate to hear it because it could be against the Bears. I don't love it either, but I'd prefer that they drop this week, get it right, and beat the fuck out of the Bears, and essentially just claim the division next week. But Mile High just such a tough place to play, and that's about all I got. I don't know. I think the Broncos defense is going to make Jordan Love turn the ball over, or we coward. They might poke the ball out. I don't know. Give me the Broncos here.
Yeah, so this is a tough one for multiple reasons. One, the Broncos started the year 1-2, and they've won 10 straight. So there's something to be said about winning 10 games in just a season in the NFL, right? Winning 10 games in a row is very impressive, regardless of team skill. The Broncos are obviously a good team. However, let's take a look because if you haven't noticed yet, I love looking at who you've played recently. They beat the Raiders by a touchdown last week. Granted, that game we talked about it. That game was more than just a touchdown game. However, the Raiders are ass, and they took care of them. Cool. Let's go to the week before that. They needed overtime to beat the Commanders. Now, granted, that was on the road, but I mean the Commanders had a 2-point conversion there to win that game in overtime. Let's go. They had a bye week before that. Game before that, it's a divisional game, but they barely beat the Chiefs, and that game was in Mile High. Long story short, I don't think Denver is 11-2. However, they're not necessarily world beaters, especially recently. And I'm gonna flip to Green Bay. I had Denver down. Green Bay's defense is travel, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And I don't know if I can trust Bo Nix and the Broncos offense to score more points against the Packers defense than Jordan Love and the Packers offense can against Denver, especially with getting Jaden Reed back. I think our offense looked different. Yeah, we had Jesus, I'm saying we too. God damn.
It's tricky, isn't it?
The Packers had a few 3-and-out drives that were not great, but they also had a couple drives that were long. Jaden Reed just does things to this team. I don't know. I'm going to be a homer and take the Packers.
All right, so now get the flute out here. I am looking at this app.
No.
Broncos. No. Too late.
No,
Too late. Already did it.
No.
Broncos are 5-8 ATS. Broncos are 5-8. They are not a good team covering the spread.
Sean, you had the Broncos picked.
I did have the Broncos picked. We're flipping. We're going all the way back.
All right, squad ride on the Packers. I thought I was going to get a free pickup on Sean there.
No.
However, I am going to get a free pickup in the next game. The Colts are heading to Seattle.
We have multiple games this week that you'll either be able to spread it out or nah. So it'll be a good. It'll be a deciding week.
I would attack Nick if he did this, so I have to attack you.
Go for it.
That is such a square move to see that we're both taking the Packers, and you're too
I
big
could
of a homer.
I could screenshot you the app that I'm on that is looking at this. I was unaware. I was trying to find.
So you have to swap back to being the Packers because it's the Packers.
I mean, that is true. I would also. That's why I don't bet this fucking team, because I get upset when they lose me money, and that's the only reason.
All right, that's the square move of the week right there.
I'll cue me in, make another tab for it. I'll be the square of the week for week. What is it? 14, 15?
Yeah, week 15. Sean is the square of the week. Write that down.
All
right. Moving on. The Colts head into Seattle, take on the Seahawks. Phil Rivers is probably going to be the quarterback for the Colts in this game. I believe that's what it's looking like. And the Seahawks are home 13.5-point favorites. That's tied for the highest line this week. And, Nick, who are you taking in this one?
This is super interesting. Dude, I'm gonna ride with Phil. I think that's my brain. Obviously, Seattle, but I want to go with Philip Rivers because I want to believe. I want the whimsical child in me to come out one last time to look at Philip Rivers throwing some fucking piss missiles out of that fucking cannon. And no, I'm not talking about his penis because he has so many fucking kids. No, I'm talking about the beauty of balls that he has out on the football field. All right? I want to feel whimsical again. I want to see it. And I believe Phil Rivers will deliver it to Indianapolis when they're looking for a hero most. This is their savior for the season. Daniel Jones is just a prophet, and god damn it, Philip Rivers is going to be the one to take you across the fucking Red Sea. Back to your promised land, Indianapolis. All right? If you're going against the Colts, you're going against fucking America. And everything we stand for out here.
Well, I guess I'm going against America here. So, like, this game before Danny Dimes got hurt was Seattle minus 3.5. So with the addition of Philip Rivers, it has now jumped 10 points. Again, I can only assume he has had pretty much zero training. I mean, why would you? He's been out of the league for fucking 4 years. He was gonna get a Hall of Fame nod. And he's going up against one of the best.
He's going to show everybody why he got the Hall of Fame nod.
Out of here.
He's going to show them why. He's going to show them why he's a future Hall of Famer right here in this game.
I know you love Philip Rivers. I know you love the Bolts. But this ain't even Philip Rivers of 5 years ago when he was with the Colts. This is I don't know what the fuck we're going to see here. It would be super cool. It'd be cool if he shows out. But there's no fucking way. The dude's 44 years old. Tom Brady. When did Tom Brady retire? How old was fucking Tom Brady?
I think about 44. I think he was turning 45.
Yeah. That dude couldn't even throw a fucking spiral at that point. It's fucking over. No. Give me the Seahawks.
All right. Tag me in here. I am also going to take the Colts.
Yes! Yes!
Here's why.
Yes!
Does Tom Brady have 10 kids? No.
No,
Philip Rivers
he's got
might
two
be,
and he kisses them on the mouth every night.
Right. So Philip Rivers might be 44, but this motherfucker has a full football. He has 10 people plus him. That's 11. If you don't think that they are just fucking scrimmaging every single day as a family, you are totally wrong. Dude.
I did hear this. Do you think Philip Rivers has only had sex 10 times in his life, and he's just that fertile?
What?
I mean,
no.
Definitely.
No, you do it for the love of the game too. You're telling me that every time he's going out there fucking.
Dude, he's a Jesus freak too. Which
I get they
why
love
Brogan
to fuck.
I get why Brogan and you were on him.
They love to fuck.
What does that mean? What does that?
You love Jesus guys. You're big. You love the man.
We're your Tim Tebow guy, Brogan.
Big Kirk Cousins, big Tim Tebow.
I was Tebowing in the middle of fucking roads when I was a kid.
Yeah.
With cars. I mean, here's the thing that I was hoping you guys were both going to go Seattle. I'm not surprised Nick's going Indianapolis, but Sean, you brought this up. This game was opened at 3.5 with Danny Dimes as a quarterback. Danny Dimes couldn't move with his broken leg anyways. So you're telling me that Philip Rivers, which I get, he's 44, but he's 10 points worse than a broken leg Danny Dimes?
Partially, yeah. I mean, the only thing that my dad would ever be able to tell you about Philip Rivers, even if you talked to him 10 years ago, is, guy's a statue back there. Guy's a statue. Yeah. That's it. It's his only critique on Philip. He's got a cannon, but he's a statue. He can't move. He can't scramble. He can't do anything.
See, but I think that's all he has to be. If the Colts offensive line can make holes for JT,
he's gonna throw some ducks, dude. He's not. He's old.
Dog,
he's old.
You're telling me Philip Rivers can't shoot straight? He has 10 kids.
He was expecting that big motherfucker that's the size of a door to come through his door and say, "Hey, welcome. You've been inducted into you've been invited to the Pro Football Hall of Fame." No, there's no fucking way that he was expecting to. Gee, shucks. I guess I got to go back out and I'm a practice squad player for the Colts. Let's go. No.
Well,
He's gonna get his shit pushed in.
Dude, no, he's definitely been preparing for this with his kids. All right.
Hey,
I bet you his kids right now, at their cycle in life, they're telling their dad he's too old. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't, like, oh yeah, like, I'm stronger than you, Dad. I'm faster than you, Dad. Dad, oh, you probably weren't that good in the NFL. Phillip Rivers has been fucking having night sweats every night thinking that his kids are right. He's going to come out this fucking Sunday and just drag his nuts on Seattle. It's going to, dude, everybody in Seattle is going to get impregnated by fucking Phillip Rivers. It's going to be a hootenanny out there, all right? Phillip Rivers is going to show us why he's a future Hall of Famer, okay?
Hell yeah.
Phillip Rivers, Matty Ice, all those guys are Hall of Famers. Eli Manning, all those guys are Hall of Famers. But it's fucking old, dude. He's old. Like, everybody has their time. He's going to throw a pick. He's going to throw a ball, not going to have enough zip on it, and a Seattle defender is going to take it to the goddamn house. No,
you want to lock that in? Because he can.
I think I'm gonna.
What is it?
I think I'm gonna throw it on my dog.
Well, a Seahawks defensive touchdowns plus 425.
Ooh.
No, okay, so like being legit outside of the Phillip Rivers thing, the thing that is concerning for the Colts is they are banged up on defense. Obviously, Sauce is still out.
Brogan, your exact handicap for this team a couple weeks ago was if you stop Jonathan Taylor, you stop the team. The Seahawks defense has one of the best run defenses in the league.
Well, but I mean, when you have a grandfather looking at you on the other side.
What the fuck are you talking about? You got George Washington against me?
Yeah. Listen, Jim Irsay, rest in peace. He's got some fucking sick black voodoo magic on this Colts team.
Indiana's been riding tragic magic this entire season.
Everybody counted them out. They think they're done. I mean, dare I say the Colts run the table with Phil Rivers and win the division?
No.
I could see Phillip Rivers being their savior. He's literally going to come down
I'll give you a $5
and lead them to a
handshake,
divisional
that's not going
win.
to happen.
Dude, I honestly think they could run the table from here on out. Like,
shut the fuck up. What lunacy are we talking about? It's 2025.
Dude. Alright. We gotta move on before Sean has a stroke.
What the fuck is happening? This isn't 2014 where you might be able to persuade me. No. 11 years past that.
Alright. Let's move on.
Right? What the fuck? We're in a couple different decades.
Alright. Tennessee Titans are headed to San Francisco.
Jesus Christ.
The Niners are favored by 12.5. They have Brock Purdy as a quarterback. Nick, who do you like in this matchup?
Dude, is San Fran fucking 9-4 right now?
They are 9-4.
Disgusting. 12.5's a lot. Trying to think. They haven't looked spectacular at all this entire season, but it is the fucking Tennessee Titans, and the Tennessee Titans are broken. Okay, they're just a broken team right now.
They got a win last week.
Okay, yeah, they shouldn't have won.
They're not getting one for a while.
I don't know. I'm going to go with San Fran here. I don't feel great about it. 12.5's a lot. But I just don't believe Tennessee can do anything. They're just broken. They're just a broken team.
So in my pre-week notes, I did have Tennessee, and I did have under my notes the inability to defend this pick. So I'm going to be going to San Francisco, and they just beat bad teams, and Tennessee's not a good team. They just won last week, so they're going to be riding high. They're going to get knocked down a peg, and San Francisco's going to make the playoffs. Nobody's going to be healthy. Christian McCaffrey's ligaments are going to be falling off the bone like that turkey turkey video from a couple of years ago that I still love that describes his ailments, which is it's still 10 out of 10, spot on. And yeah, just give me San Fran here.
Yeah, I was gonna be a square, or not. Sorry, I was gonna be the difference here and go with Tennessee, but I am flipping to be a square, and I'm gonna go San Francisco as well, um, purely because the Niners just had their bye week. Um, yeah, Tennessee's not great. I don't know. You guys have said it all. I'll squad ride on the Niners. I'm not gonna lose. Kind of like Sean was saying earlier, being the last one to pick. I'm not gonna lose a point to you guys backing fucking Cam Ward against the Niners, especially when it's in San Francisco. So I will take the Niners as well. We'll have a squad ride there.
Smart.
Next one, which could also be considered a very good game this week and potentially game of the week as well. There might be 100 points in this game. The Detroit Lions heading out west to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Like we said, the Rams are a wagon, and they're 5.5 points favorites at home. Reminder, that's the same amount that the Kansas City Chiefs are favored at home. But yeah, Nick, do you like the Rams or do you like the Lions as dogs?
I'm gonna go with the Lions, purely because of the two teams' mentalities at this point of the season. The Lions are thinking, okay, fuck, we are in oh fuck mode. We need to get shit done. We need to get shit done right, and you need to win. The Rams are kind of in my head, in my little fucking little story I have going on with the Rams is that they're gonna get like a little bit lackadaisical, right? And they're not in the oh fuck we need to win. I don't know. I feel like the Lions have more to lose because like if they don't win, they're out of the playoffs. So they're gonna go in there with more intensity and they're gonna want to win more. And 5.5 is a lot.
So I'm gonna jump in front of Sean here, just because I feel like Sean's gonna have these same stats, and I want to seem smart. The Rams are currently tied with Seattle for the NFC West division. So let's say, I know that Nick and I believe in Phillip Rivers. However, if the Rams lose this game and Seattle takes care of the Colts, the Rams will be one game down compared to the Seahawks. And maybe this is going Sean's way. Maybe this is a look-ahead spot for the Rams, because guess who the Rams have on Thursday night next week? They got to travel to Seattle. So yeah, I guess anyways, like the Rams need this game too for the division. And if they win this week and Phillip Rivers takes care of Seattle, the Rams could potentially lock up the division next next week in Seattle. So I'm gonna take the Rams -5.5. Sean, sorry for jumping in front of you.
Oh, you're totally good. I was taking a piss. So,
On
you did take the words as. Yeah. Believe it or not, I mean we don't have sponsorship, so technically not company time, my time. But like Brogan was saying, yeah, the Rams not only have the hope this doesn't turn everything off. All right, good. I'm not that drunk where I plug it into the wrong charger. So the I do like the desperation angle from the Lions, Nick. Unfortunately, the Rams also have the same thing. They're chasing Seattle in the division. Technically, they're in the driver's spot at the moment. And I know you guys think Phillip Rivers is going to get it done. Spoiler, he ain't. But
wow, you're a hater.
If it happens, awesome. That makes my Rams futures even that much more lucrative. But yeah, they got Seattle, they got Seattle on a short week, and they're not only fighting for the division, they're fighting for that number one seed. They're fighting for that extra bye. Matt Stafford is the geriatric quarterback that I will hang my hat on, put my horse behind. They'll take them to the promised land. Give me the Rams here.
Yeah, and one thing that I think Sean and I both left out there while backing the Rams, this is the Stafford revenge game. Yep. So, all right, let's move on to a massive NFC South matchup. The Carolina Panthers heading down to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Panthers are road 2.5-point favorites. What do you like in this one, Nick?
I hate all of this. I'm gonna go with the Panthers because to me they just don't look as dog shit. I mean,
You're not backing your boy Shuck?
no. If they had
Why?
Rattler in, I would believe in Rattler, but
You believe in Rattler more than Shuck, who's won
no,
games with him?
no. I'm fucking joking.
Yeah, so the Saints did beat the Panthers in Carolina a month ago, just as a heads up.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that. All right, they're not getting it done. Give me the Panthers this week.
Sean, you like Shuck? You gonna be shucking?
We like Shuck. No, just kidding. I don't like. Again, it's more selfishly that I'm hoping just because the Giants have an outside shot to win like 4 to 5 games this year, that I think that the Saints still have a possibility to finish with the worst position and get that number 1 pick. So that's gonna start here. I don't even know if I have notes for this game. Oh yeah. Yeah, it literally just says, I want the Saints to lose every game the rest of the year for my betting picks. But I don't think that yeah, no. Give me the Panthers here. Yeah.
Oh, you flipping? You flip?
I
Flip. Do it.
No, I'm not gonna do it. You pick the Saints.
No.
I double dog dare you.
I won't pick the
You pick the
Saints.
Saints and feel good with it.
No, well, so and partially this is going back to my argument I had for the Rams. The Panthers are right there in this NFC South race. They are
betcha.
currently tied with the Buccaneers for the lead of that division. So, yeah, I mean, I know the Saints came in.
They cashed their over for me this last
Yeah.
week. It's wonderful.
Carolina needs this game. I think they're going to get it done. So we'll have a squad
Get a
ride.
cat
on the
emoji.
Panthers.
Rawr.
Yep. Moving on to the Sunday night game. We got the Vikings fresh off that ass kicking of the Commanders. Heading down to Jerry's World, Dallas, take on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are home 5.5-point favorites.
Let's
Who
go.
do you like in this primetime matchup, Nick?
You know, I don't care how good JJ looked last week. He's still dog shit. I have been kind of a Cowboys homer for most of this year, saying that their offense is good, while their defense is just shit, which it is. I don't see how JJ McCarthy can outgun Dallas. I just don't see in any. How bad is CD hurt? What happened to CD? I forget.
He got concussed and slammed his head. Like he fenced. His fingers did weird shit. But that was the Thursday night game. So
Yeah, mini bye.
I mean, I guess I haven't heard. So I do have CD on fantasy, but since I have my bye this week because I'm so fucking good, I haven't really paid attention to if he's
Good
playing
for
or not.
you, dog. Good for you.
Dude, fuck you. If CD's
Hey.
out, did you
You don't
find
trust
it?
George Pickens?
Fuck, I thought you were googling it. Fuck.
No, I am. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to fucking. I'm trying to get you to talk about George Pickens. And you're
No,
fucking not.
George Pickens.
Anyways, CD. Okay, no, you fucked this whole thing up. CD Lamb is still in concussion protocol, but head coach Brian Schottenheimer shared an update this morning or today that Lamb is progressing. But however, he is still in concussion protocol. So he needs to clear more hurdles, but there is optimism that he will be able to go.
All right,
Oh.
yeah, give me Dallas. I feel good about it now.
I think you should have to take 9 in the Vikings for how bad you just didn't take that alley-oop where I was trying to get you to buy
Dude,
time for the
okay.
stats department.
You're so right.
Anyways,
I fucked it up.
Sean, who are you taking in this game?
I mean, 5.5, 55. I feel very comfortable with whatever number we're at. Hell, we could alt this shit up, have some real fun, but might even be one of my locks for the week. Hint, hint, tease, 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 hint, hint, hint. But I mean, the Vikings are coming off one of those dominant performances, and you always look to fade a team doing that. So, give me, even though I don't think 9 is going to be great here.
Jesus Christ.
What? It's late enough in the podcast. Nobody's listening here. Nobody. Nobody's listening.
Did you raise the arm with that one?
No, I didn't.
Christ.
I didn't quite do that, but good. Because again, we don't have video, so who's
Right.
to say I did? Who's to say I didn't? Um, yeah, it's more that the Commanders are terrible. Yeah, Dallas just destroys them here.
Yeah, we'll have another squad ride here on Dallas. For me, the boys just play different in Dallas. They're 6-6-1 overall, but at home they're 4-1-1. So they're a different team at home. Yeah, give me Dallas. Moving on to the final game of Week 15, Monday night. The Miami Dolphins heading to Pittsburgh to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. The Steelers are home 3-point favorites. Dolphins have been looking hot lately. Nick, who are you taking in this one?
Since fuck. The Dolphins, yeah, 4 straight, I'm pretty sure. And
4 straight. Yep.
you know it's really bad. I saw this on Twitter that as soon as Tua said that playing in Israel would be really cool, they won 4 straight. I saw that on Twitter. I got a chuckle out of that. I was like, dude, what the fuck, dude.
You are deep, dude. You're way too deep. You are super duper deep.
No, it was on a big account. Like,
Shut up.
dude.
Shut up. I'm not trying to get assassinated here. Stop. I'm trying to get a bullet in the back of my head on my morning commute.
I don't know. You were
Stop.
trying with that fucking 9.
I wouldn't have said this.
Dude.
I wouldn't, dude. So, give me the
hope my neighbors
Dolphins.
heard
Give me
that
the
one.
Dolphins.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
Sean?
I just was fully prepared for you to take
No.
big pit on that one. Take your boy Rodgers. I mean, more than likely, this is going to be one that the Steelers end up losing just because reasons, but I'm going to take them. I'm going to be pissed when we end up recapping it next week, but I just don't think wetsuit Tua in Pittsburgh is going to be able to handle the weather. So give me the Steelers here.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Steelers here. And Nick brought up the fact that the Dolphins have won 4 straight. As the guy who likes to look at previous matchups on this podcast, who have they beat? They beat the fucking New York Jets. They beat the New Orleans Saints. And they beat the Commanders in overtime. Yes, they did beat the Bills the week before that to start the 4-game win streak. However,
a fucking fluky win at home, though.
their last 3 wins have been against just bottom feeders. And the Steelers need this game for the division. Again, we've been talking about that a lot. If the Steelers lose this game and Baltimore beat Cincinnati, they're tied again. So, long story short, I'm going to trust Rodgers. I am shocked that Nick is going against Rodgers in prime time.
Me too.
But that's how Secretariat's gotten his lead, I guess. All right. Well, yeah,
I
that's
go with the real data that matters.
That's Week 15 spreads picked. Let's move on to potentially a segment that's starting to get hot. Dogs.
Oh, baby boy, do I have something for you. I don't know
Sean,
what I have yet, but
well,
holy shit.
Why don't we look at last week, Sean?
God damn. I made some fucking money. Should have bet more on this goddamn games. I was just throwing some shit and it finally fucking stuck. So that's why I'm hoping to get out of this fucking prison that I'm in. At Indiana plus 164 on the money line against Ohio State. I mean, I'm a big believer in Kurt Signetti, but god damn, should have put that shit. Prairie View versus I forget who the fuck it was, but the Jackson State. They what the fuck did they deem it the Black College National, like Black Football National Championship, which okay, all right. I'm not just not going to say a whole lot after that, but that is what it is called. And Prairie View is going to the Celebration Bowl because that was a fucking awesome win. And yeah, it was pretty sick. It was a good time. Plus, if you cash Prairie View plus 280, big ups on that. South Dakota beat the fuck out of Mercer. It was like they beat them by it was like 40 something to nothing. It was awesome. Go down to Georgia at plus 185. So 3-0 on the dogs. L's, yeah. We'll go to some college. What do we got here? We'll go to some college football. We'll see what we got here. Why not? Schedule. Can't do Navy Army. Can't do that for the locks purposes. But maybe we have some NBA. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of locks this week, unfortunately. So it's going to really be a feel situation.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to give out a dog if you don't have one. I can give one out quick.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
Because I do have a dog. Now, this is a dog that I think is going to be barking. So Browns Bears, right? We talked about how this game's going to be frigid. On the Green Book, you can do first drive result, and it's both teams to punt on their first drive plus 220. Now, why do I think this is alive? As long, and this is asking a lot, as long as Shedeur Sanders does not turn the ball over, they will be punting. And I think the Browns defense is good enough to get a punt out of the Bears too, especially in frigid temperatures. So, both teams to punt on their first drive plus 220. I think that thing's barking. Nick, Sean, either
I'm trying to get it.
I have
what the only thing that I can give you is Saturday night, Knicks at Orlando, NBA Cup. Knicks are minus 4.5, so I can only assume Orlando on the money line is a good dog. Yeah, give me Paolo at home. I like where I'm at with that. Give me the Magic there to beat the Knickerbockers.
plus 150.
It's fucking awesome. Yep, give me that. Give me that.
Nick, you got any dogs this week?
Yeah, to hedge myself a little bit, Seattle defense anytime touchdown.
That's kind of a square pick, not gonna lie.
Yeah, 100% is.
Loser.
That it 100% is, but I got to keep on the vibe of the defensive anytime touchdown.
See, you kind of just killed the whole vibe. Like, I'm actually kind of disappointed in you. If you're going to believe in Phillip Rivers,
you're hating on
you
Phil?
have to believe. You can't just.
No, it's going to be like a
might
kick
as well
return.
go
No, I'm talking about like a kick
Phillip
return.
Rivers
It wouldn't be on. It wouldn't be
touchdowns.
because of Phillip Rivers.
It didn't
because,
sound like
like,
that. You said to hedge. You said to hedge. It didn't sound like that at
Loser.
all.
Lame. That's a weak ass attitude. Weak ass attitude around here. You might as well flip your pick, dude.
Yeah, no, to hedge a little bit, we're gonna do that.
Lame.
All right. Any other dogs? Light weekend dogs this week? That's fine.
Yeah, late week on dogs.
All right. Well, let's move on to locks. And Nick, you can take over these locks if you're ready too, since you went 5-1 last week. Just for those at home, I think I've already said it at the beginning of the pod, but I can't remember. Overall on locks, I'm 44, 38, and 2. Sean is 39 and 45, and Nick is 36 and 45. However, Nick did go 5-1 last week, and Sean and I both went 2 and 4.
Brogan,
So,
I think you're going to see I got some pruning to do here.
yeah, I was going to ask you that if you were going to go with 7 locks this week, which you can do if you really want.
Yeah, I got some pruning I got to figure it out here.
Well, while you're pruning, Nick, why don't you give us your locks?
All right, we're gonna go. It's gonna be ripping off a bunch of spreads here. All right, we're gonna go with the Philly spread, the Charger spread, and the Buffalo spread. All right. I feel way too good about each and every last one of those games. Like that Philly spread. Like, come on, man. Like the Raiders can't even score fucking 3 points against that Philly defense. There's no way. Philadelphia is probably gonna put up like fucking 20 points, but the Raiders going to put up 7, right? Like, it's not going to be that close. It's not going to be that much of a sweat. Chargers, I don't know. It reeks. but sometimes you got to go like, yeah, ah, it doesn't make sense, and I'm gonna double down on it not making sense. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers spread, and then Buffalo spread. I love the Patriots. I love what they've done this past year, but I'm still not fully bought into them, and I think Josh Allen can will the Bills to a win here to show everybody that he's still the guy. Right? The AFC fucking East still has to go through Buffalo. So I know he can't win it. You know the odds of him winning it, but like he's just gonna show that he's top dog out there. All right, then after that, it's Toyota Thon, baby. I'm gonna ride this till I die. Jordan Love, 2+ passing touchdowns, coming up here, and that is plus 125. Let's go, baby. Making money right there. It's Toyota Thon. It's fucking automatic. There's nothing that's gonna stand in the way of Jordan Love and getting multiple touchdown passes in Toyota Thon. Okay,
Patrick Surtain healthy?
I don't give a fuck.
Just
They could have Darrell Revis out there. Alright? I don't care. Jordan Love is going to fucking dice them up. That's just how it goes. Alright, and then I have to check this last one. Oh, you fucking slut.
what?
Devontae Adams anytime touchdown
Yeah,
is...
can't do it. I was looking at that too. Can't
God damn it!
listen, I mean, rules are locks have to be minus 150 or less, and it's
I
minus 165.
know. Alright, we're going to look at... Alright, George Pickens anytime touchdown. We're going to go back to the well. The well was dry last week, but we struck water. Alright. He's going to bring us that coveted W. And he's going to pull us back to the promised land of the weekly locks, so I'm not so fucking negative. I'm also doubling down on the Jordan Love for the parlay.
Back-to-back weeks of that.
Dude, it's unstoppable.
How original.
Okay. See you the window,
All right.
I guess.
Sean, I'm gonna go next, partially because I saw you are trying to steal one of my locks.
Dude, I'm
and-
so pissed. I hit that in my notes this morning. We can timestamp it.
Right, but we can also
Oh,
timestamp
furious.
that
Furious.
I never saw your notes, and I had it in the spreadsheet first.
I'll
So,
screenshot it. We'll give it to the listener.
but my first lock is not that. I have 2 Thursday night locks. My first one is Rashad White over 16.5 rushing yards. And you're going to be like, wait, isn't Bucky Irving back? He is. However, last week, Rashad White had like 50 rushing yards when Bucky Irving got banged up. I think this is going to be a backfield by committee. And, I mean, I don't know, 16.5, this seems like a trap, but like 16.5 yards isn't that much in a must-win game for the Buccaneers. Along with that, I love the rushing yard props for the Buccaneers in this game. This is the one that I was highlighting with Sean. Baker Mayfield, over 15.5 rushing yards. Baker's cleared this, I think, in each of his last 4 games.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, in a must-win game, Baker's always putting his body on the line. This is probably my second favorite lock of the week. Baker over 18.5 rushing yards. Next one, we're going to go to college ball. The only college football game this weekend. It's America's game. Army-Navy. I mean, it's not even a college football game. It is just an American football game. And, I mean, I think Navy -6 is a lock. I hate this because I had Army moneyline as one of my dogs a couple weeks ago, and they were barking. They got it done for me. But this Navy team is kind of just a wagon. They're 9-2. I know this game's always close, but that Navy offense is just different. And yeah, I think Navy's going to kind of beat the brakes off of Army this year, unfortunately. My next 2, well, I guess the rest of mine are all going to be NFL spreads, but my last 2 locks outside of the parlay of the week: Houston -9.5. I don't know if the Cardinals will be able to score at all against that Houston defense. And as I highlighted when we went over the spreads of that game, the Cardinals have just been hemorrhaging points to teams. I don't think C.J. Stroud is elite by any means, but that Texans offense should be able to put up at least 20 points, and I don't know if the Cardinals make it to 10. And my last lock is Pittsburgh -3. Yeah, I think the Steelers get it done on Monday night against the Dolphins. Sean, what are you locking this week?
So very similar to what you said. Baker over 18.5 rushing yards. We're going to get this party started on Thursday night. And I do think that this is about the healthiest he's going to be for a minute here. I just think this is like a desperation game for him. They see what's in front of them. They got to win this game. They got to beat the Panthers at least one time. So the Baker will be scrambling. He'll be doing his usual shtick. The next one gonna be a little fun for me because I have not had a stake in this fella in fantasy football. I haven't had a stake in him in a while. I've said coming out of college, I think he's gonna be a good guy. I think he's gonna be pretty serviceable. I think he's gonna be good. I wouldn't say a Hall of Famer or whatever the draft boards were queuing him up as, but we're gonna go Kyle Pitts over 59.5 receiving yards. Now, Kirk Cousins, he's been a little bit of a check down Charlie, per usual, obviously, but the targets for the majority of guys aren't there. If you pull up Kyle Pitts' target share to the rest of the Atlanta Falcons, it's an astronomical amount. He's getting a lot of targets. Kirk Cousins, even the first week or two that he was there and he took over, he loves Kyle Pitts. So much throw that he'll throw to him in double coverage, triple coverage, does not matter. So, Kyle Pitts over 59.5 receiving yards. We'll lock that one up. Fucking why not? This next one, we got a little plus money lock, and it wouldn't be quite a lock brought to you by yours truly if we weren't betting on a little UFC. Last UFC fight of the card, or last UFC last UFC fight night of the card. Sorry, a little drunk, multiple shots, multiple beers later. That'll happen. So, we are going to be doing a Joe Anderson Brito money line win parlay. He's -305. He's going against Isaac Thompson, who is Brito's a UFC. He's been around the UFC for a minute. He's flyweight. He's going against a newbie, 2-2, kind of unproven. Not buying it. Next leg of the parlay, moving right along, is going to be, excuse me. Where the fuck was he? Now, this is about where I was expecting myself to be tonight. Slightly slur my words, trying to pronounce some of these names. Yaroslav Amosov, -410 favorite. Again, not a big deal. You see -410, people get turned off by that. But usually you parlay the big legs of the night in a UFC card, and you make some money. And he's going against Neil Magley, who has kind of been a doormat for people that are trying to break through in the division for welterweight, right? So Neil Magley lost to Sean Brady, lost to Ian Gary, lost to many other guys that are just trying to. He's just trying to save face, like hold his place in the welterweight without like losing his contract and everything. And I think he's kind of in that Derek Lewis role of the welterweights. He'll fuck up people that aren't supposed to be there, but he will get beat by better contenders. And that's exactly what Amosov is. And then the last one is, which I'm pretty excited for, Brandon Royval versus Manel Cape. And I think Cape's going to win this. Cape's been on a fucking tear recently. So parlay all three of those, Brito, Amosov, and Cape. And you get a plus 119 moneyline parlay for a lock. God bless you. Have a nice Saturday night. Then we're going. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3. We got Cowboys -5.5. Again, there's no way that J.J. McCarthy is going to beat Dallas in Dallas, let alone cover this spread. J.J. McCarthy is not a good quarterback. And he's going to get humbled real quick by this revamped Dallas defense. They ain't play nobody. The Commanders defense is not the Dallas Cowboys defense. I don't even like the Dallas Cowboys, but we're going to go Dallas Cowboys here. Just because I may not like them, but I know a win and I know money when I see it, and Cowboys are that at -5.5. And then the last one, going back to Saturday, we're doing a little bit of time traveling, going from Saturday, Sunday, now back to Saturday at Army Navy over. Last time I checked, I hope it's not 37.5, but we're going 38.5 over on the money line. Or Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Too many shots, too many beers, too drunk at this point in the night. Army Navy over 38.5 total points scored. Now, this is usually a fucking treacherous wasteland to try and score points in. It's an option snooze fest. It's punt, 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 couple passes, punt, 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 maybe a run or two. But Army kind of sucks. Navy, on the other hand, Navy is good. Navy is a good team. I can co-sign Brogan's -6 with the Navy spread. Navy's averaging like 30, I think it was about 34 points, 33 points a game on average. They've been beating way better, way high quality opponents than Army. Army even, not that great, still averaging 20-some points on offense. You take away cut both those totals in half. You end up with at least 40. So give me the total for the Army Navy over total game. That's all I got. We're gonna try and be coherent for the parlay of the week.
Brogan's dead, apparently.
All right.
Sorry, I'm alive. I'm alive.
No, all right.
But why don't you lead us off for the parlay of the week, Sean? Since you're borderline unalive.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to get every second of me as possible here. So, parlay of the week again, Mr. Auto Magic. It's going to be over 1.5 field goals by Mr. Guy Fairbairn.
Sean,
like I said, system play till done.
I totally get that. Is there any concern outside of the system play that they just beat the Cardinals so badly that they don't even need to kick any field goals?
No, because you know what? No, that's valid. No, because they're gonna be beating them so bad that they're just gonna run it, goal it, down their goal it, down their goal it, down their goal it. They stopped it. It's fourth and 1, 4th and 2. We're gonna kick a field goal. Oh, it's 3rd and something. C.J. Stroud tries to scramble, takes a sack. Nah, don't worry about it. There's gonna be some points to be had here.
All right. Well, I'll go next since we'll go reverse order of our locks like we typically do. I highlighted it earlier. Giants -2.5. This is my lock of my locks, and I'm throwing in the parlay of the week because we need to hit this motherfucker. We haven't hit a parlay of the week in ages. So I'm coming out with my bet of the week. Giants -2.5. Throwing it into the parlay of the week. And Nick, I guess you already foreshadowed you were doubling down on Jordan Love. What is your pick for the parlay of the week?
It's Toyotathon. Like, it's Toyotathon. Jordan Love's going to have 2+ passing touchdowns in every game from here on out. It's Toyotathon. Get on it now while you can still make money. All right? The Lions learned. All right? The Lions learned real quick. The Bears learned real quick. All right? You guys got to learn real quick that Jordan Love's going to throw for 2 from here on out. So that's an auto lock. Just like Sean with Fairbear, I'm going to be Jordan Love +2 every week.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't see a line for Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals made yet.
Just because we'll keep giving them -150 to -100. So
right. So just assuming we're going to be around a little under 7-1 here, I think. just guessing. 6.5 to 1, 7 to 1, I think is where this parlay is going to end up. So that could be a nice win for you. And we're going to hit this one because, like I said, it's been a while since we hit one. And this is our moment. This is our week. Do you guys feel it?
I feel it in my balls. All right.
Same thing as
Oh.
Buffalo.
We got it.
All right, boys. Anything else for week 15?
Again, rate, review, subscribe. Makes our life a lot easier. We don't have quite yet a sponsorship, but we'd be plugging that by that time. So figure it out. Get on
Right.
it. Listen.
And if you want to see some hatred towards the Bears, check out our Twitter, and you'll see what our social media team does in their free time. Which, spoiler alert,
_A_R podcast.
spoiler
Something
alert,
like that.
our social media team has a lot of free time.
You betcha.
All right, anything from you, Nick?
Fuck the Bears.
That sounds
All
about
right.
right.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye. Love you.